What is a video game you think everyone needs to play at least once in their life? Well, this essentially turned into what's your favorite game or what game are you playing right now? The original Super Mario Bros. For the NES. At least 1-1 and 1-2. Edit. I am referring to Super Mario Bros. On the NES. World 1 Level 1. And SMB World 1 Level 2. Nothing about SMB 2 or 3. Tetris. It puts all other games in context. Portal or Half-Life. Awesome games. Everyone should experience the thrill and fun of Left 4 Dead 2 when you're playing with 3 of your friends. Roller Coaster Tycoon. What screams they are compensating for something. Overly flexing and bragging about their achievements, lashing out on people online, etc. People who put others down. They are compensating for their lack of power by abusing others. As the years go on, the one that's become abundantly clear is how much people post their couple photos saying how much they love each other. Less is more, is all I will say about that. A chess grandmaster sacrificing his queen. People who spend a lot of time talking about money or valuing someone based on what they drive. 99/100ths that person has very little money and is all about appearances. I've always wanted my own plane to compensate for my lack of wings. What helps you fall asleep? Having the fan on and one foot outside the covers. I have the tendency to keep moving and rolling when I'm thinking too much. Until my cat comes to cuddle and I can't move anymore because I don't want to annoy her. Physical activity. You need to actually be physically tired. Inventing stories. It's like the bedtime story when I was a kid. The only difference is I'm the one that tells the story. Hot shower and a cold bed. Reading a book I'm not really into. When I'm into a book, I'll read and look up and it's 2 a.m. When I'm reading a book I'm not into, I'll get 2 pages in and fall asleep. I never fall asleep with the TV on or during movies. No matter how into I am. But with a book, it works like a charm. I have a completion complex. So I have to finish a book once I've started even if I don't really like it. What obvious thing did you recently realize? That birds don't live in nests. Nests are just where they keep their eggs. Birds just sleep in trees. Even after hitting rock bottom, you can still keep digging. About a decade ago, I bought a Logitech Wave keyboard and mouse combo. Absolutely loved them. Used them both until they wore completely out. Which took a very long time. Used some other stuff for a while. And recently decided to replace them with another Wave set. They were exactly the same. Except for one small thing. The scroll wheel on the mouse worked differently. It spun freely. Rather than doing the soft ratcheting that I was used to. It wasn't a huge deal. In fact, scrolling through places like Reddit was much easier. I could just spin it and let it fly. But it sucked for things that required precision. Like swapping weapons in video games. I've been putting up with it for like a month. An asterisk, just today I realized that the button below the scroll wheel isn't just a middle mouse button. It switched the scroll wheel from soft click to free spin modes. I had no idea and it's made my whole day. 20,000 leagues under the sea is referring to distance and not depth. Edit. Yeah. Sorry, I meant horizontally and not vertically. It's all distance. Pipe cleaners aren't just for arts and crafts. They're also for cleaning pipes. I am 35 and oh so ashamed of myself. That my glasses were on the top of my head the whole time I was looking for them. What's something that's never made sense to you? The fact that most people work during the daytime on weekdays. But common services, businesses like banks and the post office aren't open late into the night to cater to the people who can't get to them during the daytime. Entry-level jobs asking for 3 to 5 years of experience. Like how? Entry is supposed to be the bridge for experience. Wind. I'm sure there's a science behind it, but I don't want to know it because I'll still question it. How does the air just start moving on its own, and why does it have to inconvenience me? Why isn't phonetic spelt the way it sounds? People judging other people's opinions without understanding their perspective first and then insult them for having that opinion. Anti-intellectualism. What was a typical 90s scenario that today's youth will never experience? Getting a video to rent and watch at home made you feel like you were going out to do something. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. But this applies to the 90s as well. You could do the absolute dumbest, craziest, most embarrassing shit you could possibly imagine. And no one was recording it. Dial-up internet. That tone is ingrained in my memory. Talking to someone's parent and asking for your friend since it's the landline and no caller ID. Making plans beforehand and having a meeting place since no one owned cell phones. Meeting people at the gate when you pick them up from the airport. What are some foods most people think are healthy, but actually aren't? Fruit juices. Protein bars. Most of them are essentially a Snickers bar. Something smart my doctor shared with me: everything can be unhealthy if you don't practice moderation. Granola bars. They have as much sugar as a candy bar. Some smoothies. I have seen smoothies loaded with sugary froyo. Charcoal. It's important for poison control, but that's about it, I think. Remember the whole charcoal food craze and even charcoal toothpaste? Yeah, people shouldn't be mixing charcoal powder into foods or liquids and toothpaste. It wipes out your gut healthy bacteria. Subscribe, my brothers.